All right, you are not going to believe this one. Today, we're breaking down an article that makes an absolutely wild claim. It says that in the whole Jeffrey Epstein saga, Donald Trump is, wait for it, the hero. Yep, you heard me, the hero.
The author, Michael Ian Black, doesn't beat around the bush at all. He just comes right out and says it, quote, he's the real hero in all of this. So you're probably asking, how on earth did he get to that conclusion? Well, stick with me, because it is a trip.
But hey, before we get into the weeds on this masterpiece of something, do me a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out. Okay, you ready for this? Let's do it.
All right, section 1 is called the hero in all this. And yeah, it kicks right off by claiming Trump is basically the good guy here, totally innocent, the hero of the whole story.
And we're not just talking innocent. Oh no. The article says he's pure of heart, soul, and mind, an actual angel. So you gotta wonder, what proof could possibly back that up? Let's find out.
Okay, on to section 2. The proof is in the denial. This is where we get the first piece of so-called evidence, and it all boils down to just pure, unadulterated denial.
So the article brings up Trump's libel lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal. And the amount he's suing for, get this, a staggering $20 billion. With a B.
Now, to give you some perspective on how insane that number is, the author compares it to the massive big tobacco lawsuit. That was $200 billion, sure, but it was against 46 states over 25 years. Trump wants $20 billion from one newspaper for one story. So the author asks, with a wink, would a guilty man really ask for that much money?
Then there's the signature on that birthday message. The article just oozes sarcasm here, saying it bears almost no resemblance to the squiggly black Sharpie signature other than the niggling fact that it looks the same. Yeah, you can practically hear the eye roll.
So, who were these experts who confirmed the signature was a fake? Well, the article says Trump's press team cited experts from the Daily Wire. And who were these experts? You guessed it, chatbots. I'm not making this up. That's what the article claims.
Okay, if you thought chatbots were weird, you might want to buckle up. Section 3 is the undercover informant theory, and this is where things go completely off the rails.
So get this. The article claims, and it pins this on Speaker Mike Johnson, that Trump wasn't just hanging around Epstein. No. He was secretly an undercover FBI informant working from the inside to take him down. A secret agent.
And the logic here is, well, it's something else. The author lays it out like this. Step 1, the Epstein files, total hoax, didn't happen. Step 2, but Trump was an FBI informant on that case. Step 3, so naturally, the hoax files that don't exist prove he's a hero. See? It all makes perfect sense, as long as you don't use your brain.
So why isn't Trump shouting this from the rooftops? Well, according to the author's logic, it's because of Trump's one single weakness. He just can't stand getting credit for his heroic deeds. It's his kryptonite.
All right, moving on to section 4. The author is done being subtle here. Now he's just screaming, "Open your eyes, sheeple."
Yep, he's going full-on conspiracy theorist mode to really hammer home the satire.
He brings up that really graphic birthday book and asks, seriously, does that sound like the kind of birthday souvenir an actual pedophile would have on hand? The argument is basically that it's just too obvious, so it must be fake.
His conclusion? The evidence is, and I quote, a little too on the penis.
And then, immediately he corrects himself. Wait, I mean nose. I totally meant nose. That's the whole gag, right? Say the thing, then pretend you didn't mean to say the thing. And that brings us to the grand finale, section 5, the author's final word. This is where he finally drops the act completely.
He starts by quoting J.D. Vance, who said, "No one is falling for this BS," and the author agrees. But he twists it. He's saying, yeah, no one should be falling for this BS story that Trump is some kind of hero.
And then comes the final punchline. After this whole long sarcastic defense of Trump, the article ends with just one sentence. But whoever wrote that letter to Epstein is a sick f***. And boom, that's the mic drop. That's the entire point of the article.
So just to be crystal clear, the whole thing is satire. It's meant to show how ridiculous some of these arguments are. But that leaves us with a pretty big question, right? In our crazy world, does satire like this actually clarify anything? Or does it just make everything even more confusing?
I really want to know what you think. Let me know down in the comments. And hey, if you want more breakdowns like this one,
do yourself a favor and smash that subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out.